So good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
After 10 years, a wife started to think that her child looks kind of strange. So she did a DNA test and found out the child wasn't theirs. She told her husband what she found out, and the husband replied, "Don't you remember? When we were leaving the hospital, the baby pooped. And you told me to take him in and change him. So I went inside.
Oh,
I went inside, found a clean one, and left the dirty one there."
Oh.
A good one, Bill. That's a good one.
male mentality.
You got it. Okay. Tip of the day. In Safari, they added some new features, but I want to talk about one that's been in iOS 15. By the way, in iOS 15, Jim just informed me that iOS 15 is no longer the most recent release.
Oh, jeez.
We have iOS 15.0.1. Okay,
Problems already, huh?
right.
Yeah.
Is it for the iPhone and the iPad? It didn't come out with one for the iPad yet. Maybe it's just the iPhone.
No, it's the iPad too, Bill.
Is it? I didn't
Yes,
check.
it's
I
both.
just checked the iPad and I didn't see anything.
Yeah, it's both.
Oh, yes. Okay. By the way, there are two different operating systems. I hope you folks all know that. It's iOS for the phone and iPad OS for the iPads. So they're diverging to some degree.
Is this a new thing?
What? The divergence?
Yes.
No, it started with 13, I think, or 14. So it's been happening. What I'm going to do is switch to my other screen where I've got everybody in. Oops. We'll get there.
Where?
Oh, you got it? Can you see the?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. If we go, I'm going to go to Safari. First of all, the reason there's a feature in Safari called Reader View or Reader Mode, where it gets rid of a lot of the advertisements and things. So in some cases, it makes it much easier to read the things that are on there because it gets rid of a lot of the side information and commercials that are going on. The other reason it's kind of nice is when you want to print it out, you don't get that information. So if I go to Safari on my iPad here, and I go and I type in on the top line, I type in maple trees. Come on. And I type in maple trees, MAPLETREES, and press enter. And I got a lot of different websites here. I'm going to go to one down here. Um,
Somebody needs to turn
Someone's
I'll-
television is on.
Yeah, I'll mute everyone here. Just don't forget how to get, if you want to ask a question or something. Okay. So now I've come up with this article about maple trees. You see the advertisements on the side, what's going on there? Now I'm going to switch it to reader view by clicking the double A's up here at the top and say show reader view. And look what happened. Now it looks like this. Much nicer to work with. Now, if you don't have the double A's up there, one of two things has occurred. Either the site doesn't have a reader view, or you haven't allowed reader view in Safari. Oh, there's a way to allow reader view in Safari? Yes, there is. So now I'll go back to the desktop or the home screen. I'll press settings. I'll scroll down to Safari. There's an option away down in Safari called Reader. The settings for Safari, and make sure you're allowing it. Automatically use Reader. You can automatically have it come on for you. Ooh, I didn't know it was automatic. Okay. So now when I go to a site like the one I was on, I would automatically get reader view. Okay. And I could force hide it. There, I got it. Okay. All right, everyone. Any questions on that tip of the day? None?
Is that only on the iPad?
No, that works on the iPhone as well. Last time we were talking about settings, right? And I think we had worked our way down a ways. I think we covered keyboards. Anybody want to help me with that? Remember where we left off? The next item in the list is called the control center. And the control center is a menu of items that we can access quickly. So if you use something frequently like airplane mode, there's a quick way to get to it. It's called the control center. On my iPad, if I put my finger clear at the top edge and pull down, the control center comes up. And I can do the same thing on my iPhone. And I get the control center. Okay. And right there, if I want to go into airplane mode, I could do that. If I want to use my flashlight, I think my flashlight's on my iPhone there somewhere. Better be. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Right there on my phone. Right? If I want to make it brighter or darker. Right? If I want to stop or start music from playing, right there. If I want to get to my calculator or camera. And you might be saying, well, Bill, you have a lot more icons there than I do for stuff. How can I add that? Well, let's talk about it back on the settings menu. and Control Center. By the way, I have mine set to access within apps. And you could include recommended controls for home accessories. So if you had home accessories, you could do that on your phone.
You have show home controls and you have to add that, I'm assuming. 'Cause mine doesn't have-
That's because I have some home controls. If you don't have that, that's probably why.
Thank you.
Okay. If we look at the list, all these are in my control center, but they have minuses on them, Bill. Well, that's because if I want to remove, let's see, if I want to remove TV remote, Apple TV remote, I would just click the minus sign and then remove it. So how do you get it back once you've removed it? Well, you go down here and it gives you a list of the items that can be added to the control center that are not there. And so I could add back in TV remote. Okay. So that's a quick overview, or actually pretty good overview of what's available in the control center, what you can add, and how you access it. Okay,
Hey, Bill,
What,
go ahead.
this is Jean. I have a question. What is Screed recording?
It records what's on the screen, and I think it makes a video of it.
Not a screenshot.
Correct,
So it's the difference. It takes a copy of a video.
correct. And
Huh.
I haven't used it much. I tried it once some time ago. It's kind of clever. If I was trying to demonstrate something, for
Yeah.
example, a sequence of 3 or 4 steps,
Yes.
that would be the way I would do it.
Oh, okay, thank you.
what are you going to share what the lines on the outside, like silent mode has all those lines along there? What do they mean?
Where you looking?
On the control center,
Yeah. iPhone or iPad?
iPad,
Okay. And where? Where are we talking?
where you added the items that you were just talking about.
If I,
Access, so control center included controls.
the TV control is right here.
No,
For example. So if I go back to settings and I remove that,
that page,
yeah, okay. And I click the minus sign to remove it. Then I go back to the control center, it's no longer there.
okay, so if there's signs there, minus signs there, it indicates that they are on your control center.
And the, yeah, and the minus sign means that it can be removed.
Thank you. However, there's 3 of them there.
Okay.
Thank you.
A lot of the times when Apple has a button on the screen, it's what the button will do, not what it is going on. So in this case, it's a minus sign telling us that you can remove that. And you click the minus sign to do so.
Hey, Bill,
Yes, sir.
Joe McIntyre. I have on my control center Apple TV remote. I have that there, but I don't have Apple TV remote on my TV. So why would it be there?
So why don't you just turn it off?
Why should,
Because it's Apple.
but it looks like it wouldn't be there unless I had that device.
I would think so. I do. So I'm not sure why it's there on yours, other than you can remove it or that Apple's just pushing their own products.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Okay.
Yes.
One of the other things that's there, you see, I'm pointing at my iPad now. You see these two little screens here? That's the way you can get your device to display onto a smart television. Okay. So if you have a smart TV, many of them have Apple TV on them. Okay. And so if you click on Apple TV and then you come over here and click this, it will show you your TV. You click it, and now whatever's on your device, phone or iPad, will display on the TV.
Is that considered Apple TV?
Apple TV, this is confused, it's as bad as Google Chrome. Apple TV in its purest sense is a little box you get from Apple, and you plug it in your television, and it gives you access to all the Apple content that they can stream to you. A lot of the televisions now have that feature built into them.
Oh,
And so the smart TVs, when you get the smart menu, one of the items in the menu is Apple TV. Or I think it just says Apple.
Can you add a Roku remote? No, right?
I would, you may be able to. I would check the App Store.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Hey, Bill,
Yes.
I have a Samsung TV and I didn't do the setup, the Geek Squad did. But when I click on that mirror icon, it automatically gives me the option to select the Samsung, and then the Samsung becomes an additional screen for my iPad or iPhone. Easy
Yes.
peasy,
Isn't that
really
wonderful?
easy.
Yes. Mine worked 3 months ago and it's not working right now, and I'm not sure why.
Call the Geek Squad.
Hey, I'm getting ready. I have a smart TV and I want to be able to use either my laptop or my iPad on the television. And I don't really know how to do that.
Well,
It's easy.
in the purest sense, if you bring up your your TV and you hit this little symbol,
Yeah.
it should list your TV as one of the options.
Right, and that's what mine does.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, I click on Apple TV remote.
No. You click on this guy. I'm going to click on it and you'll see the options that come up. There's my computer. That's because I have a piece of software on there. But down here is my television. I don't want to change it or you'll lose the picture. See where it says Samsung Q8000 or 800 series?
Mhm.
That's my television. So if I tap that, it would try to communicate with my television.
How do you get that double screen to get there?
There's an icon.
I'm in the control center right now.
Yeah,
Do you have that double screen up here?
You have to go to screen monitoring and then you get the double screen.
Yeah.
No.
Mirroring, I mean,
No.
screen mirroring. If you go to
If
screen
you
mirroring,
haven't loaded the current version of the operating system, it says screen mirroring. You're right.
yeah, that's what mine says, yeah.
okay, I found it.
All right. Yeah, if iOS 14 and before had screen mirroring in this position, and they've replaced it with focus. And we moved the icon for screen mirroring up here. All right. Notifications, right? If we go up here to here's notifications. Notifications are the things that come up when you pull down from the left side of your screen. I put my finger up here and I pull down and I get my notifications. Okay. So the question would be, is there a way to control the notifications you're getting from different things? The answer is yes. Each notification, each app that's able to send you notifications is listed if you go to settings and notifications and scroll down a bit on there. And you'll see each one says off or immediate or scheduled. You see the list I have here? And so on each notification, let's look at Amazon. If I click the arrow, I get the Amazon list of controls. I'm allowing Amazon to send me notifications. And I'm saying, when I get a notification, I want you to give it to me immediately. With sound. And down here is where I set up how I want to receive the notification. I'm saying I want to receive it as a banner at the top of the screen, and I want it to appear in the notification center. So when Amazon sends me a notification, it will appear at the top of the screen. Will it make a noise when it gets there? Because I have this on, it will. Will it remain as a banner at the top of my screen? And yes, because I have it set as persistent. It will remain up there until I slide it out of the way. If I wanted it only to appear temporarily, it'll come onto my iPad, make a noise, show up, and then 5 or 10 seconds later disappear. I found those to be almost useless because by the time I started looking at it, especially on my phone, it was gone. So it makes a noise, you go grab your phone, you pick it up and look at it, and it's going away. So I chose not to use temporary. Okay. Do I want the banner at the top to appear on my lock screen? I said no. Okay. Ooh, somebody got something. Is that me? Okay.
Say again what you said about notification center.
When I put my finger up here on the left-hand side and pull down, that's called the notification center.
Okay, so it doesn't deal with where it's positioned. That's the banners.
Yeah, it would position it up here at the top if I got one. Okay.
But the word center is not meaning a position. In this case, it's meaning a group.
Yes, it's everything that's come in since the last time I cleared it.
Thank you.
Okay. Questions on notification center? Okay. Display and brightness. Okay. They've added some features to display and brightness over the years. They have a light and a dark mode. If I turn on dark mode, it looks like this. If I turn on light mode, it looks like this. I have mine set to do something automatically. And I'm saying automatically, it goes to light mode, it's dark mode, it's sunset. And you can click the arrow there and you can actually customize it and say what times you want it to start and end. So mine's set to go to light mode at 8 a.m. and go to dark mode at 10 p.m. Unless I have it set for sunrise and sunset, right? Okay. What we have is brightness, and you're not seeing the brightness go up and down as I move this across the screen, but you can set the brightness level you would like. Here, you can say I want it to be true tones. And what this does is it changes the brightness level depending on the ambient light around it. Best way to explain this, if I set this at this level and I walk into a closet and my ambient light is entirely black, what will happen to the brightness on my screen?
Should stay as it is.
Dark mode, probably.
It's going to get darker. Not dark mode, but it's going to get darker. And when I have it turned on, what it means is the delta between the ambient light and the brightness I have selected will remain the same.
That's what True Tone does, right?
Correct.
What if you don't have True Tone on your iPad?
Then the brightness will remain constant, no matter what the ambient light is.
Thank you.
Is True Tone in 15, or is that in just the newer iPad models?
You should have a switch there, do you?
No, I just have brightness. I don't have True Tone.
Same here.
You can't adjust, you can't, what's it say? Does it have a switch there?
It just has the brightness.
There's no switch.
No,
No.
Is there a switch somewhere else? Because there should be an adjustment. I remember before I've updated my iPad, there was a switch for ambient light comparison. And I don't remember where it is. It was. Okay.
It's probably because I have an older model, because under automatic, I don't have options either.
Yeah, I have options, but I don't have the tone one, the true tone.
Huh. Okay.
It must
We
be
don't have true-
because I have a 14 and it doesn't have it.
You're on your iPhone or iPad?
iPad. It
You don't
doesn't
have
have
an ambient light adjustment? Okay. There's a feature called night shift. And that's where it takes the makes your screen warmer or cooler. Okay. If it makes it warmer by adding or making it taupe in the background. Okay. And that supposedly is easier on your eyes as well. So one of the features is you want it to go to night shift and make it warmer to get rid of the blues, which they say is easier on your eyes. Okay. There's a feature here called text size. Oh, lock and unlock. I turned on never for auto lock. And I wouldn't recommend that for anyone unless you're giving a class and you don't want your screen to go off. Okay. It should be set somewhere around for your iPad, 5 minutes maybe. You have to understand that your screen is the largest user of your battery life. Okay. Shouldn't say battery life. It's the amount of time your battery will last daily.
That mean your screen is going to go off at whatever time you set it?
It will go off if you have, the time is since the last time you touched it. So on my phone, if I set it to 30 seconds, if I don't touch it for 30 seconds, it will go dark. If I set it for 5 minutes, if I don't, so we're always touching our screen to make some changes or keyboard. And that's what it's measuring all the time.
Thank you.
Mhm. Text size. I'll change it on my phone here. If I click it, I recommend you make it as small as you can and still be nice to your eyes, right? Though I don't recommend going that small, perhaps, like on my phone. But if you make it too large, some of the menus and things that show up get relatively hard to look at. See what happened to my settings menu? Things went to 2 lines.
Hey, Bill, this is Jean.
Okay, Gene.
When I did that in a demo once, it cuts off all my phone numbers when you go to look at your contact list.
If you make it too big.
Yeah, I went, oh my gosh, this isn't going to work.
Well, the phone number might have been on a second line or something like that.
I'm not sure what happened, but I put it back right away.
I'm getting more and more bold. I'm not concerned. It'll come back. But I understand the motivation.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Display brightness. And bold. I usually have mine on. I just like a crisper letter. And I'm in zoomed mode versus non-zoom mode. Just the icons are a little better, a little bigger. Okay. home screen and dock on the iPad, and home screen on the iPhone. With the advent of iOS 13, they added the app library. And I better describe that first before I get into this. So if you go back to your home screens, the app library you get to by going right to left, right to left, right to left, and you go one more screen and you get what's called the app library. And I have it on both screens. This is a complete index of all the apps you have on your device. They have arranged them in folders that Apple thinks would make good folders. If you wanted to see them in alphabetical order, so you were hunting for a particular app, you knew its name, right? And let's say it's exoskeleton or something like that. You tap the bar at the top where you enter text, and it lists them in alphabetical order. And you could say, you could start typing it and it would show up. There's exoskeleton, right? Starts with an E. All right. So you could type it. If I was looking for maps, M-A-P-S. I get the 3 apps I have on my device for maps.
I wish they would in turn tell you where they're located on your screens.
Yeah, I know.
Why do you have 2 Google Maps?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think one's an older version and the other one's a newer version. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I looked at the one in gray there, so I'm not sure why. Okay.
Bill,
Mhm.
I don't have the app library on my iPad. Is that because I have an older version?
That's because you haven't put the iOS 15 on it yet.
Oh, that's new with 15. Well, the Naples users group recommended we wait until 15.2 until all the bugs are worked out.
Who said wait?
Naples users group. The Naples Mac users group.
I don't know if I'd do that.
Yeah, because they said to wait until all the bugs are worked out.
I don't know whether I do that because they fix some security features each time in their OSs. So you might be exposing yourself to security issues versus having to put up with a bug or two.
Yeah, well, at least I have a VPN.
Okay.
I don't know what exactly was meant by telling you where your app is in this app library with what you were just showing it. But I put a letter in and it told me the name, and then I tapped on it and it went directly to it.
Correct. If you don't go to the app library, if I'm here and I'm looking for an app, it doesn't tell me which screen it's on. It doesn't tell me what, see, I have all these folders myself on my iPad here. It doesn't tell me where it is in those folders. Let's see if it does now. M-A-P-S. It doesn't say where. Oh, it does. See where it says right here, travel? So Sharon, if you use the Spotlight search.
Where do you see travel?
Let me pull it up here. It's right here.
Oh, thank you.
You think of a name of another app. Yeah, there's iHeartRadio, and it says it's in music. So hopefully that helps Sharon a little bit.
But I'm on the app library. I hit the letter that I wanted. I hit an N.
Yeah,
It showed me it.
But,
And I,
but if you wanted to know where it shows you here in the library, but if I didn't want to go to the library to look up my app, where is it in all the stuff I have on my home screens? Okay,
Bill, are the folders that it's identifying in the Spotlight search the app library folder or your personal folder?
app library, they organize them the way they want. So they've identified all these items that they think are utilities. Right? They've identified all the games. Now, I might not sort them that way in the way I look at things. Okay, so that's why they do that. All right. So now if I go back to settings and back to, where were we?
home screen and dock.
Yeah, home screen and dock. Right. Now it says newly done, when you download an app, do you want it to appear on your home screen or only in the library? If you say home screen, it'll appear in both the home screen and the library. But if you say library, you'll have to go to the library to find it. And they added a nice new feature to the dock. So you can get to the library quickly. You can tap that little icon there at the bottom.
Sorry, Bill, where is the icon on the bottom?
My iPad, it's right here. Doesn't show up on the iPhone.
Oh, thank you.
It's the icon that looks like one of those things.
Right, exactly. All right. And the other one there is show suggested and recent apps in your dock. I have that one turned off. If you have it on, you'll notice on your dock, there's a little vertical line separating the items you've put there and the items that Apple has put there. The ones that Apple put there are the recently used. I have that turned off. If I turn it on, and then I go back to the dock, there's a vertical line right there, right here. Okay, saying I use the camera a lot, so they put that there. And that grows or shrinks depending on the things you put there, how many other apps you have, and how often you go to different apps. And then show badges on the apps. I'm going to turn that on. The app library. So when I go to the app library, I thought it showed the badges before, but is it showing that these are the badges? AAA is the AAA badge. If I turn that off, what happens? Still shows the badges. but they're bigger. They're bigger if I say show badges.
Wait a minute, where did you get,
Go ahead, Jim.
well, mine's not like yours, show app library. I don't have that.
Are we looking at the phone or the iPad?
I'm looking at your, like your iPad where it says show suggested and recent apps in dock. It says that. But I don't have. let's see.
Show in library?
Wait. Oh, I do have that. Yeah, sorry, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
But I don't see where it says to put the badges on.
You don't have that feature? You don't have that capability?
Where'd you get that from?
Well, that's in the home, that's on home screen and dock.
Yes,
It says the last item there is show in app library.
yes, you've got that turned on?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I've got it now, thanks.
Okay. Ooh. They have an accessibility in settings. Right? Okay. And these are all designed for people who may have vision problems or may have hearing problems. Okay. So if you have vision problems, for example, you can turn voiceover off so it talks to you. And you have to be a little careful with some of these. If you turn them on, the way in which you access things by tapping now changes. Okay. And you can change the rate at which it speaks to you. You can change the language it speaks to you, the voice it speaks to you in. Okay. Now, if I were doing a class for vision impaired folks, this is where I would spend some time going through many of these. And I've seen some folks that have vision issues, they really get good at using them.
Is it really helpful to them?
Yes. Yeah. It works. Now, it doesn't work well in a classroom environment because they always have the voice on. So they need earbuds or something if they're in a class. Zoom. Double tap 3 fingers to zoom. Drag 3 fingers to move around the screen and tap 3 fingers and drag to change zoom. So I'm going to turn on zoom. And if I touch the screen with 3 fingers twice, it zooms, and then I can put 3 fingers on the screen to drag it around. I have to tell you, my grandson was playing with my iPad and hit 3 fingers, and I couldn't figure out how to get it out until I knew about this particular feature. All right. I'm not sure what follow focus means. Anybody out there know? Oh, smart typing will switch the window zoom when the keyboard appears. Well, that's interesting. Okay. There's one there called keyboard shortcuts, which many people have started using. You'll notice mine's on. And we talked about Sheep's keyboard shortcuts last week. Okay. And there are shortcuts there to zoom and unzoom on the keyboard. Oh, I'm going to change the maximum zoom level way up here. And then I got to turn on zoom again. There's the maximum level. Okay. I just did this to give you an idea of some of the things that are available. If you have a hearing aid, you've probably been here.
Bill, what is the audio visual where it says background sounds? No. All right.
Plays background sounds to play.
See where it's, yeah, it's just,
That's an interesting one. I have not used it.
you know, noise cancellation to me seems the same. I don't know what that,
Well, the problem, noise cancellation works if you have earbuds or earphones.
right.
I think they're saying they'll play a music to overlay some background noise you might be having.
Hmm.
Without having earbuds. That would be my assumption. Let me turn it on. Okay. So now we have rain or ocean.
Hmm.
Okay.
It's so,
All right. We're going to switch to wallpaper.
that.
And I'm hoping that most of you have used this. If you haven't, let me. Right mouse. If I want to change the wallpaper, I would go here to say choose new. Let me choose a new wallpaper. I'm going to pick a still wallpaper. Let's see. I'm going to pick that one. And then I'm going to say set and make it my home screen. I could make it both. Okay, so now when I go back to my home screen, I have that in the background.
Bill, I have a question. This is Jean.
Go ahead.
If I wanted the picture on the first page, but none of the apps, I used to drag them off there so I would just see the picture. But
Okay,
is there a way to automatically make the first page nothing but your background?
I have not found it, Gene.
Okay, so I have to move those 4 apps that are sitting on my first page.
I'd go here. Oops.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah.
can't do it, can you?
I don't know. I only have 4 on there, so I can easily move them.
I understand.
because I'd like to see whatever picture I put. I'd like to see it when I turn the phone on versus all the icons.
With,
Okay,
with the advent of iOS 15, you'll notice at the top of the screen there, I have some widgets.
yeah.
Okay, so iOS 15 put those there,
Oh, no,
and I can remove them. But you could get rid of all these apps on another screen and then have just the widgets up there at the top.
yeah, but if you don't want anything, you would literally have to highlight and move them.
Yep.
There's no way to make the first page just the picture.
Yes, that's correct.
I wonder why they haven't done that. All right, thanks.
You said highlight. Do you select more than one app?
I press on them, until I get the menu to rearrange the home page.
Okay.
I'm working on an iPhone. I have a Mac and an iPhone.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So I thought there'd be a way to maybe automatically just put the picture there.
I just thought of another tip I want to give next week. So hold on a sec.
Okay. There's nothing worse than a picture of your grandchildren with these icons sitting where their eyes are.
What's this perspective zoom?
I was trying to figure that out too. Where are you? You're still in
Wallpaper.
wallpaper? And you chose, let me take
The same one you chose.
okay. We chose that and it says
No,
perspective.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But it says perspective zoom.
Is yours on or off? Maybe
It's, the default was on.
I'm turning it off. Yeah, I don't see a difference there. So I'm not sure. Again, I haven't played with that. Hey, Bill. If you're still with
I
us,
was just, yeah, I'm here. I was just playing with it. It looks like with your picture, I have a picture of my granddaughter on my phone.
Yep.
And when I turned and one of my problems was it was such a large picture. I only got her head and her eyes, not the whole picture. So when I turned perspective zoom on, I was able to back out a little bit by using my fingers to adjust the zoom that I wanted for the phone, and then I can set it.
okay. Okay, everybody? Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
I'm going to change mine back to.
Oh, I don't think I can change mine back. It's not here anymore.
Uh-oh, we started something.
I'm stuck with it now.
Couple things about Siri. First of all, I've gone to Siri in the settings menu. And I have Hey Siri turned on and I have home screen. Press the home for Siri. I happen to have Siri turned off in a lock screen.
Why is not, why locked and not unlocked?
Say that
Is there-
again.
My
Well-
iPad has it on as allow Siri when locked, and I have an on. I didn't turn it that way, that became that way.
Yeah.
What difference does it make to be locked and or unlocked?
Well, if my screen is locked, I would prefer it's not listening for Hey Siri. Okay,
Okay, so it basically will deal with the sound of what you say to her or it.
correct, because I couldn't get to it otherwise, right? You can't press the home button or do something.
Okay, thank you.
Then we have the language. I have English, Australian. If you pick, you can pick among the numerous languages and English dialects. Unfortunately, they don't have Southern or Texan, but or Michigan, Minnesota, right? But they do have, the different dialects that we get from South Africa or Australia. I chose the Aussie because I like the accent. And then many times they offer multiple voices, a female, a male, a couple of females, a couple of males. All right. Siri Response. I always like to know that what I've said has been acknowledged. So I have it set to always. So when I talking to Siri, Siri always responds. I have captions and speech turned on, so I see as well as hear what she's saying or he's saying, and I see what I've said or what it interpreted as what I've said. One of the ways you can modify, if I go to Siri and I say, oh, wait a minute. Oh. Gobbledygook.
Wow.
If if I didn't say the right thing and I wanted to say gobble, I can tap that little arrow and come up and edit that.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Okay.
Okay, let me know if there's anything else I can help you with.
Will do. This is the way you can, if Siri's not understanding what you're saying and you keep trying to say the same thing and it's not getting it, you tap the arrow and correct it. And if you do that 3 or 4 times, won't say it's always, but a lot of the time it will then, the next time you say that expression or whatever, it will pick it up correctly. So the reason I showed you that was if you tap the arrow, this is the arrow right here. I say, oh, what I said was, what I meant to say was okay, right? And there are certain expressions that we say that are picked up incorrectly, or some of us incorrectly a lot. All right. The important one here is to put your name in there. If you don't have your name in my info, click the arrow and select your name from the contacts. The reason that is if I have my name in there and I say, take me home, it goes to my name and picks my address. And I can also start adding things using Siri. I can say, James McIntyre is my friend.
There's no one in your contacts named James McIntyre.
How about Ann Ross is my friend?
Okay, Do you want me to remember that and Ross is your friend?
Yes.
Got it.
So now when I use Siri, I can say, send a note to my friend. And it will come back and say, you have 4 friends. Which one would you like to send it to? If I only had Ann in there once, it would do it. I have said my son is, and I gave him my name. My wife is, or my spouse is, or my husband is, and I gave it a name. And as long as that name is in contacts, you're all set. So when I say, send my wife a message,
What do you want to say?
where would you like to go for dinner tonight?
Ready to send it?
Send.
Okay, it's sent.
Okay. So I was able to use Siri to take care of the whole transaction of sending a message without touching Siri, without touching anything else or the keyboard. Okay.
Why do you have to say my friend or my wife or whatever before you put the name in?
Because I'll show you. I'm going to go to my name in contacts. And see this list? It says my spouse is Patty Crow's sister. I did all these. And I'll bet Ann Ross is in here somewhere. Not in that one. Just a minute. No, it has to be. Ann Ross is not in there. Did I say yes? I guess I.
Right under Ann Ross, if you go into her contact, it'll say friend.
Oh, no, it has to be in mine.
Oh,
In other words, I have a friend down here named George Beck, a friend named Greg Schifferly,
oh.
Siri. Ann Ross is my friend.
I already knew that, but thanks.
But where is it?
Send my friend a message.
Which one?
There you go.
Which one?
All right.
Why wasn't it listed though?
I'm going to find out. Hold on. I could have had contacts. I have to restart contacts, would be my supposition, or I have to restart the iPad. She's still not there. Don't see her. She should be. Okay. Because what happens is it goes to my name. And when I said friend, it goes down and finds the friends I have listed. There must be an error there because I have 2 people listed as friends and it didn't list Greg Schifferly. Okay. Who is my spouse? Who? No, I don't mean who. Who's not in my directory? Yeah, what's on first, who's on second? My spouse is, and there she came up, right? So when I said, send a message to my wife or my spouse, it went to my name, found spouse, went to her name and came up with her phone number to send a message to it.
But if you said wife, would it have still done it?
Yeah, it does. Yes, it would.
Spouse and wife, same thing. Mhm.
Yes.
Hmm.
And it's smart enough to know the difference or the same. He's smart enough to know that,
Bill,
to associate.
what's the- Bill, what's the difference between just saying call Patty Crow versus
Right.
call my wife?
Well, come on, I'm trying to make a point here. I think it's cooler to say my wife.
You might forget her name sometime.
Yeah, there you go. I didn't write it down.
I'm asking the same question. Why do you have to say what category that person is in and not just say that person's name?
That's possible, yes. So you're telling me it's a gimmick? I can say, call my grandson.
Yeah, just more work.
Well, I'm trying to teach you how to use Siri. So those are some of the things it will do, in addition to the millions of other things. If you want to know what Siri, well, let me make sure I got Siri covered as far as. I can also say, Siri, open a given app. And these are all the apps it will open. Oh,
Uh-oh,
no, I got a plug here. I'm okay.
plug them in.
Yeah. No, I just brought up my old iPad. No, forget it. All right. If you have a pencil, here's where you would go. Right? To specify how it works. And I don't know if my pencil's still, yeah. And some special actions you can accomplish with your pencil.
And my pencil has to be an Apple pencil?
No, it does not. I've seen some people with some other Apple devices. I just did the screenshot thing there. Anyway. Touch ID and passcode. Okay. You can add more than one face or more than one fingerprint,
Mhm.
right?
I could never get a fingerprint in.
A lot of people, my wife has the same issue.
Thank you.
And it's either too much hand cream or the fingerprint is gone. Okay.
And for face recognition, it's very good to have two and a side view.
Is it? I haven't done a side view.
Right. It's, you'd be surprised because if you're not facing directly on it, you know, it asks for your passcode.
Yep.
What about with a mask?
Yeah, it won't do
Nah.
it, I don't think.
It
No.
won't take it?
I don't think it'll do it with a mask. You can try.
Don't they know there's a pandemic going on?
Wow.
This could be a major problem when you're out and about. You have to take off your mask to use your phone.
To use it, yeah. Well, you have to use the passcode.
Mm-hmm.
So is that where you go set up an alternative position? On your
Appearance,
phone?
yes, right here. Yeah, right there. Set up
I see. Okay. So I should be doing something different now. I just did it. Anyway. Okay.
Can I ask a question about the touch ID and passcode?
Sure.
When I touched on it, it's asking, it says to enter a passcode. Do I have to enter to be able just to go into that screen?
Yes.
If I cancel it, I go back to Apple.
Right. You have to enter your passcode to get into it. Because they don't want anybody changing it. Just anybody who has your device.
Thank you very much.
Next item there is battery.
Hmm.
And I like what they've done with the iPhone in terms of the battery.
Bill, why do you have low power mode off?
Oh, it will. It automatically goes into low power mode when my battery life gets way down. I just don't want to put it in right now. It slows down the processor and I think dims the screen a little bit. I'm not sure, don't remember. Right?
Okay.
I don't have battery percentage.
We're talking about an iPhone or iPad?
I-
Missed that, Sharon. You cut out, Sharon?
Oh, wait a minute. I gotta look on my iPad.
I got added, I've got,
Yeah, I got it.
okay. The one on your phone has battery health. They don't have it on the iPad, but on the iPhones, they have something called battery health. And it shows you the maximum capacity versus what it used to do. Whenever I charge mine, it'll go now to only 95% versus 100%. I've had the phone approximately a year now. If that number on your phone is below 70%, you should either replace the battery or the phone because your battery is not lasting very long. Okay.
Bill, this is Linda McDonald.
Go ahead, Linda, please.
Hey, yeah, on my phone, I'm just way back. I just need to get back to settings. Right now, everything's really, really big. Is there a way I can just, I don't know, I messed up.
You're on
when
your phone?
I'm listening to you on my iPad, but I mean, on the iPhone, it's just really messed up, but I don't know. Can I just,
Okay,
or should I
you're
just-
telling me it's really big numbers and letters?
yeah, everything's really big letters and numbers.
Double tap your phone with 3 fingers.
Double tap
With
on
3
the
on the home screen, on the screen with 3
on the
fingers.
screen. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Did that do anything?
No, it has a big 3 on it. 1, 2, 3.
A little quicker. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. I think I'm finally back.
Did that work?
I think it did. I think I did way back when you did it.
Isn't that amazing? Oh.
I couldn't get out of it and didn't want to interrupt. Okay, thank you so much. Sorry about that.
No, no. You learned more than the rest of us today.
Oh, gosh. All right, thank you.
What is that 3-finger double tap? Is that a special reset?
Is that say again, Bill?
that 3 fingers double tapping you would do, rapid tapping you were doing, is that a special reset?
No. If you do it again, it'll make it larger.
Yeah, that happened, but it was larger. Okay. Oh, thank you so much.
I think 2 fingers might do it, 2 taps, right? 3 fingers, 2 taps. Yep. 3 taps sometimes does a different thing, but anyway.
So do not charge up to 100% all the time?
I guess I don't know what you mean by that.
Oh, it said never leave it plugged in like overnight because it goes over 100%. I mean, not, doesn't go over 100, but
I always leave mine plugged. Where does it say that?
I
haven't
don't-
seen, I haven't
heard-
seen, yeah, you heard that, huh?
okay, wrong. Okay,
I have optimized battery charging there, right? To reduce battery aging, iPhone learns from your daily charging routine, so it can wait to finish charging past 80% until you need to use it. So I plug mine in when, if it's, you charge your battery, if it's less than 70%. I wouldn't charge it if it's more than 70%. And you should let it go to 0 very infrequently. Okay?
Oh.
I plug mine in when if it's less than 70% when I go to bed,
uh-huh.
and I let it charge until I get up in the morning. And what it's saying is if I do that repetitively, it learns not to go to full charge till about the last hour. And then it zaps it with the last hour's worth of charge to get it to maximum capacity.
Right, it even tells you that on the screen.
Okay.
All right.
So mine doesn't go to 100% anymore. It goes to 95%. But I've been doing this for a year. All right.
Thank you.
That's the rule to use, 70%. Okay. Maybe it does go to 100%, but it only lasts 95% of the time. Okay. I guess the battery is only 95% effective, but it will charge to 100%, but discharges more rapidly. All right. Then you can scroll down in the battery menu to see how you've been using your device and what apps you've been using them with. All right. Last 10 days. The next item there is privacy. And I believe Apple has done more than anyone else to guard your privacy. By that, I mean, no matter what you're doing, they usually give you the option of who will be able to access that information. And let me show you some examples of that on both the iPhone and the iPad.
What is private relay?
What is private relay?
That was with the new update. It's on iCloud.
Private.
And also hide my mail.
Okay, let's not get in that. Yeah, I'm not sure.
All right, okay.
Let's go to location services here. I have both my iPhone and my iPad say that they know where they are. You know, by the Wi-Fi connection, by the GPS connection, whatever, they know where they are. Okay. So your phone and your iPad know your GPS coordinates. The issue is, do you want to share that information with other applications? Okay. There are probably ones like Maps. When you're using Maps, you would like to share your location. Probably when you're using Facebook, you would rather not. Are the two prime examples there. So if I go down my iPad there, Apple Clips, don't want it to. Apple ABC 7 Weather, no, because I don't use it much. But AccuWeather, I do, right? Want to share my location. Apple Store, never. I'm sure Apple Store has some features that says, hey, these people are using these particular things in your area. I don't want them to know where I am. Right? Around me is an app that says, takes your location and tells you where the nearest bank, hospital, urgent care, restaurant, movie theaters are. So I want to have it I want around me to have it, but I only want it to have it while I'm using it.
Right.
Not all the time. Hurricanes, boy, I want to know that, right?
Are these positions and places in use and items that you use that you have added onto there?
These are
Because
all
some of the-
these are all applications I have on my device that would like to use my location.
But they already on your device, you didn't necessarily add them?
No, I added them. No, I have over 300 apps, so that I've added. What comes with your device originally is something like 30 or 40, maybe not
Okay.
that many.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So you have complete control over who has your information. You could also share your location, for example, with a family member. So as we get older, my kids want to know where I am. Kind of a switch in roles, isn't it? All right, which is fine. So you can share your location. I also want to make sure it's on for Find My. So your iPad is sending its location to the iCloud so you can find your iPad when you lose it or it's taken. So that's all about location, right? And then they have other tracking apps, right? Why would I need Bubble to track? These are the ones that might want to know. Allow apps to ask to track your activity across other companies' apps, right? I don't want to do that.
I take it you had to add those other places.
Yeah, these are all apps I've added.
Thank you.
All right. Then I'm back where it says privacy at the top of the screen. and it says contacts. You have a list of contacts on your device. What other applications would you like to have access to that list? This one's scary, right? If I have an app that has to do with my contacts, I would give it access if I thought that was necessary. And I don't see ways having to have access to my contacts. Things where I use the phone, like Talkatone, or Smart Merge Pro, where it merges my contacts, I've got to give them access. I can turn it off. Okay.
Where did you have contacts?
Pardon me?
I can't find contacts somewhere.
Okay. Are you back to where it says privacy at the top of the screen? iPhone or iPad? Are we talking?
Yeah, thanks. I hadn't gone back far enough. Thanks.
Yep. I can see no reason in the world for Google Photos to have access to my contacts. I'm sure Google Photos has an option. You want to send it to somebody in your contacts? I don't want to use that. Because I'd rather Google Photos doesn't have access to all the rest of them. Okay. Who can have access to my calendar? These are the things that have requested it. And the reason I've given Zoom access to my calendar is when I get a Zoom request, it says you want to add it to your calendar, and you can click on that and have it added to your calendar. And you can go down the whole list. Photos, who has access to your photos? Right? CVS, if I were going to get a picture, I would have to give them access. Getting the idea? How about your camera? Who has access to your camera? Right? Any app that wants to use the camera for a reason, wants to have access, you can control it. For example, Hangouts, which is from Google, would like to access my camera so that when I'm using it, it's like Zoom or Skype. All right.
Excuse me, Bill. Have you gone over, I'm sorry if I missed something, have you gone over local network?
What do you mean by local networks?
Well, have you discussed, what things are okay to access your local network?
We're talking about Wi-Fi?
I'm talking about privacy. You see, it's on the Bluetooth that says local network.
Let me go back. No, I haven't.
Hadn't gotten that far.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you'd gone past there.
No, I had gone past. I didn't plan on covering it. Apps that have requested permission to find and communicate with devices on your local network. And I'm trying to figure out why any one of those needs it.
I don't know either.
I'm gonna have to do some research on that, unless Bill or my Apple guru. Greg and Bill or Greg might be able to help me there, but I'm not sure.
Me neither.
Thank you. Okay, we'll have to do some research on that one. Diane, you usually ask me that question, those kind of questions. You're good.
Well, I'm concerned about security.
I know, I know. As we all should be. All right, enough on privacy. App Store. I think you want to go to the App Store. Wallet and Apple Pay. I use the wallet quite a bit. As you can see, I have 3 credit cards on it. Okay. And it really works out nicely on my phone. I come over here to my phone and I double tap the phone, it comes up with my credit card. I could use a different one, but that's the main one I want to use. Right, and I can pick a bunch. So I'll pick that one. And now if I'm in Publix, I just wave my phone over the reader instead of pulling out my wallet and credit card.
Yep.
It extends over to the watch as well if you happen to have an Apple Watch.
Yes.
Bill, one other thing you might think about is putting your ATM or your debit card, because if you have your debit card on the ATM at Bank of America, you don't need your card. Just use your watch or your phone.
At the ATM, you mean?
Yeah, at the ATM.
Right.
At the Bank of America.
Oh, I can use my debit card to get cash with my.
Right, you load it just like you would load the credit card.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get cash from an ATM with your watch.
I appreciate that. You see where it says add a card on settings on my iPad? If I tap that, right, it says add to wallet. Keep all cards keys, right? Debit or credit, I would tap that. And then I would tap continue, and then the camera comes up and I'm supposed to put my credit card right in front of the camera. Right? And it would pick all the information off of it, and I would have added it. I wasn't going to do that online because you'd all see my numbers. But you get the idea.
Hey, you get a lot of views on your video if you did that.
I bet I would.
Bill, just an FYI, I know you don't have that in Florida, but in New York, we have the Excelsior Pass, which is the ID for the COVID vaccine. And that also can go in wallet.
Wow. Okay.
It's a lot of things. I mean, you know, if you're flying, you can put your
airline ticket.
Yep.
Yep.
It's the best.
This is the best.
It is the best.
So you have it, if you will, soft copy or on your phone when you're walking through various places, including the the guys who check your body, air traffic control, and
Right. No, TSA.
yeah, TSA, and when you're going to check your ticket. So it's pretty nice.
Yes. There's a million things you can add to wallet. It's
I had this is an FYI for everyone. I had an interesting experience with my driver's license. At TSA, I was flying to California, and I had my pass and my TSA and my license, and I went to TSA and say it's not reading your license. They stuck it in their reader. And I got the 3rd degree in terms of, body search and finally somebody came through and said, well, we typed in the numbers and it worked. So it was the barcode on the driver's license wasn't working.
Right.
So I got a new driver's license to end that story. Okay.
Okay.
We've covered passwords. Oh, this one's a cool one. See where it says passwords?
Mhm.
And here are all the places on my iPad. They show up on my iPhone as well. All the websites that I've gone to where it asked me for my ID and password. So for example, Amazon, and I'm going to tap that and it'll show the password. No, it won't. Password on the screen's blanked out, but I can see it on my phone or my iPad, what the actual password is for Amazon.com.
Mhm.
So they have a complete list of everything that I've logged on to with Safari here. Okay.
It's not like a password protector or a password where they put in a password for you. You actually have to put in your password.
Correct. And to be honest with everybody here, I prefer those because I keep a list of them. I guess it's belt and suspenders.
In the next revision of the Mac operating system, you're going to be able to access sort of a spreadsheet of your passwords and save them differently.
I love it. I love it. That's speaking my language.
What is that, 16?
No, he's talking about, you're talking about Mac.
Mac, yeah, the Mac.
He's talking about the computer.
But then, will that transfer over to your
It'll be
iPhone?
12. It'll be, I don't know how it's going to do on the iPhone. I haven't heard him talk about that on the iPhone, only the Mac.
Oh. When's your next class, Greg?
Tell him, Greg, go ahead.
Well, I don't have anything scheduled right now.
I think that was a request.
Yes.
Gary Rosenzweig did a nice presentation on the updates at the Naples Mac users group last week, or earlier this week. He did a nice presentation. You could catch that on YouTube or his website.
Right.
We can go ahead and give them a plug, Greg. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I belong to 2 groups, and the other group is Naples Mac Users Group. They just announced this week that they added 144 members in the last 4 weeks.
Woo. Thanks to you.
Not to me.
Yeah.
Well, I may have sent a couple that way. I don't know, but they're pretty active. It's only about Apple products. So if you're interested in PC and some of the other things, it's just not available. It's only Apple products there. And they do request that everybody coming from other groups maintain their membership in their local group.
Mm-hmm.
They're not trying to cut anybody out. So.
Thank you, Greg. I joined. The classes have been excellent.
Yes, very good. And if you're getting too much junk email from the president, I encourage you to look at Tame Your Inbox YouTube video from Cheetah Hunter. And that's how you could, unfortunately, the president there is very active. He's a little too active with the email. He resembles a spammer. But if you tame the inbox, you can handle it.
Yeah.
Bill,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I have a question in relationship to the passwords. I'm on my iPad. On the autofill passwords, it's turned on, which I did not do. And down where it has the listings of the passwords, it has the Xfinity, which I did not put in. How did that happen? And
Sometime you had to have put it in on your phone or your iPad.
okay. And then it changed the autofill notification to on.
I just turned mine on.
Right.
Saves me a little time, hopefully.
Hey, Greg,
Go
come
ahead.
back.
Yes.
I need you. My son told me, he's a big Mac user, that there are ways on the Mac though to not have a strong password. You can change that feature.
Yes. Yeah, you can cancel, when it's suggesting one, you can not use that and type your own in.
No. He said there's a way that you can program your Mac to use strong password, a medium password, so on and so forth. So it's.
Well, I know you can, mine's set to use strong password. I don't know how to make that change to a medium password.
All right, I'm gonna call him.
Okay.
Okay.
Since they're in this system, it doesn't matter to me how long they are because I'm not memorizing them anyway.
Right.
And particularly when I'm going to be able to get a list that I can download and print out and put in my safe and that sort of thing. I really not going to care then.
Yep.
Right.
If we go now to mail, right? And we go in mail, we go to accounts. I have a bunch of accounts there that I can get mail from. And the only thing I want to point out here is that it lists the different services, would be the best way to say that, the various mail programs provide. So if I look at Hotmail here, I've chosen to get Hotmail from them. If I tap the arrow here, I could have a Hotmail calendar, a Hotmail list of contacts. I could have multiple sources or multiple places where my calendar and contacts would be. If you do that, you got to be careful about which ones you're looking at, which ones you're putting your information in. So my recommendation is don't have a bunch. Okay.
You mean like you?
Like me. Well, have mail. Mail's okay. But if you have more than one source of contacts, and I can show you that in a minute. When you're making a contact entry, where does it go? Does it go in my Gmail, my iCloud, or my wife's contact list? And which one am I looking at? Okay. So it could get quite complicated.
Okay.
The same is for contacts.
Bill, I have two questions about that. One is, why do you have all those other emails? Is that so you can demonstrate some of those in class primarily?
Exactly.
Okay. The other question is, do you have a problem, since you have Patty's contacts, if she has it set up that her card is hers in the contacts list, doesn't your computer have a problem with two my cards? You understand the question?
I'm gonna go there.
Okay.
So to answer Greg's question, right, we have multiple contact lists, but it says default down here in contacts, and it also says default down here in mail. And that's if I send an email, where's it come from? Which email address? And in contacts, the default, and in calendar, there's a default. And so Greg's question is, okay, now that's where it's being put. what about how do you view? When you go to calendar or contacts, what are you looking at? So I'm going to go to my contacts. Right? And so what am I looking at? Whose address book am I looking at? Up here, and this is where it gets a little complicated because of Apple. I tap groups. I go to groups. And in this case, here I'm getting Patty's address book. I'm going to click on mine, so I see my address book as well. And I have iCloud's address book. So I have them all, and they're integrated alphabetically. If I turn off mine and my wife's, these are the only addresses that are in the iCloud. If I turn on my wife's, it's that one, and if I turn mine on, we add some more. Okay.
But see up on the top where underneath your name, it says my card.
Right.
Now, when Patty goes into hers, does hers say my card and it's Patty's card?
Exactly.
Now, maybe this is just a Mac problem, but when you go to autofill something in, it doesn't like to have two my cards available.
Okay.
Now, maybe I just don't have something set right, and I'm mostly filling in on the Mac, not the phone, but so maybe it's a different question, but.
Yeah, if you do it on the phone, it will probably be different. And I'm not sure what the different cards
Okay,
are.
all right. I don't want to bog everybody down with that.
Okay. All right. Okay. So we have groups for contacts. If we go to calendar and I tap the calendar in the upper right-hand corner, it has the same kind of thing where it says I have the iCloud, my wife's calendar, and my calendar. And just to give you an example.
Where did you tap again?
If you have the new operating system, a newer one, it's the little icon up in the upper left-hand corner of calendar screen. If you don't, there's a word called calendar at the bottom of the screen. You don't have the newer operating system, and you click that to get this same side panel. So I'm going to turn off my appointments.
Are you in settings still, or are you actually on the calendar?
No, I'm on calendar. I'm actually in the calendar application.
On the app, yeah. Okay.
Not on the settings calendar, but on the.
Correct. I'm on my home screen and I tap, today's the 2nd, so I tap that. Okay. And if I turn off my appointments, we get something like that.
Where did you see this?
I turn off my wife's, different set disappear. Okay. So in this way, we're sharing calendars. And if she makes an appointment, it shows up on mine. If she makes an appointment, for example, an eye exam, and needs to have me driving her, she can see what the calendar says before she makes the appointment and then make it, and vice versa. I don't want to make an appointment where she has an eye exam and needs me. Okay?
You would have to have more than one calendar on your device, right?
Correct.
If you have just one calendar, when you hit calendar, that's all you get.
You got it. You got it. So that's why you didn't see it. Okay. Good point. Thank you.
Mine says untitled.
Okay. I'm not sure. You saw something that says calendar untitled?
Untitled calendar. says public calendar. Then under it has home calendar, calendar 2, calendar 3, calendar 4. Oh, that's on my phone.
Don't
I
know.
think you started to create a new calendar and didn't name it and didn't put anything in it. And it's like an empty document.
Oops.
So how do I correct it, or what do I?
Well, I think you can right click it and delete it. Oh, you can't. I'm talking about a Mac.
I
don't know.
don't. Oh, if you go to settings and calendars
Okay,
and then tap account, you should have, it should be listed there if you have one. In other words, if you're looking at my iPad right now, it says calendar here, it says calendar here and calendar here. So those are the 3 calendars I have. Do you have some other ones there?
well, they only want to use settings, and I'm going to
Settings and calendar.
settings and calendar, and it comes up accounts.
And then
iCloud, Gmail, AOL. I said add account.
no, so it's not there. So I'm not sure. Oh, geez.
They're the same things as the email. When you click on mail, and they're the same accounts as that, at least on mine iPad.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Not sure. Not sure why. Let me check something. Don't. If I say don't watch what I'm doing, everybody will watch. But don't follow what I'm trying to do here.
Yes, I'm the only one who uses it,
I know.
but I can't.
I have to do some research on that.
Thank you.
Couple other things I want to cover. Messages, right?
Yeah.
You can adjust how long you keep your messages, for example. FaceTime. Make sure you're logged into FaceTime. It doesn't say you need to log in. If you want to get your phone relayed to your iPad, you would turn it on. It says calls from iPhone. I often get people saying, I have my iPad rings when my phone is ringing. And here's where you would change that so it doesn't occur. Okay.
Where is that now, Bill?
That's in settings, FaceTime, calls from iPhone.
Calls from iPhone. I don't find that.
It's right there. When you click on settings and FaceTime, it should be right there. You on your phone or your iPad?
I'm on the phone.
No, it's on the iPad.
Oh, on the iPad. Oh, wait a minute.
It's convenient. You can answer on whatever device you're on if your phone is nearby.
You're correct.
I use it all the time.
All right.
But the next one, respond with text, is grayed out.
Can I ask about the email that they use on this one and a couple other places? They use an iCloud email, not your regular email address.
Who does?
My iPad and my iPhone, I think, I haven't got it on, but right now I'm looking at my iPad under FaceTime. And I noticed it under messengers that says you can be reached by FaceTime or you can be reached caller ID. And they use the iCloud email address, not the email address that I use.
You can turn that off.
Put the one you want.
Pick the one you want.
There's no,
Oh, if your address doesn't show up here,
that's what I'm saying, yes.
the only reason mine shows up there, I believe, is that's my Apple ID.
Yeah.
My Apple ID apparently is the iCloud address.
Yep.
Okay, I'll work on that.
Safari is the last one I'm going to cover. Okay, I have my search engine on Safari is DuckDuckGo. That means if I type something in the Safari address bar, and it's not something that's a real website address, it'll open up DuckDuckGo and put that, whatever I typed in the search bar for DuckDuckGo. I recommend everybody have, at least on their iPads, show favorites bar. And the word favorites shows up under favorites. Okay? A man was telling his neighbor, I just bought a new hearing aid. It cost me $4,000, but it's state of the art and it's perfect. Really, asked its neighbor, what kind is it? He responds, it's 1230.
They work real well too.
To my world.
All right, folks. Have a good week.
Thank you, Bill.
I guess
Thank
I'm-
you.
Thank you.
Wait a minute, let me advertise next week. Here. Next week, we were going to talk email in Safari, how to use them. And we're also going to talk about iOS 15 and some of the new features in iOS 15. All right.
You're having Joe Kissel for the main meeting. And are you getting it? Is he going to offer the discounts to take control books to?
No, I'm not. No, Joe is not. We're going to have a video of Joe.
Oh, okay.
Because I tried to get him and he's not doing presentations right now.
Yeah. Well, he does some places.
Does he? Did he just do one?
Yeah, he's done, he taught a class this year, I think.
Oh, I didn't
He
say,
did iCloud class in Naples.
I didn't say he didn't do any
Zoom.
this year. It's just he hasn't,
Oh.
done-
He's-
I've had an exchange
Yeah,
message.
he also presents at the Villages Mac user group,
Okay,
but he's primarily Mac guy, so,
okay.
okay.
Thank you.
Have a good week, everybody.
Thank you.
Take care, Sharon.
Bye.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.